From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Montana businesses say there just aren't enough workers to go around. Just ahead, a state university professor weighs in on where that trend is heading.
I'm Joe St. George in Washington. Should Congress be doing more to protect animals and dogs in our country? Some certainly think so. We break down the numbers and why new regulations could get passed this year next.
Happy Thursday, Southwest Montana. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. It is 6:30 and winter is about to remind us that we live in Southwest Montana, not Southwest Arizona.
We hit the January thaw, and as we go into the end of January, bam!
Yeah, here it comes.
It's going to be a 1-2 punch for us. Temperatures this morning actually not bad. The problem is it's still below freezing. We had some snow yesterday. There will be some icy spots, so keeping that extra time for that morning commute a good idea. I just plan on delays as you get into your Friday and Saturday. We are looking at some significant snowfall across the area as we get into your Friday and Saturday. Today, late snow showers will start to impact that evening commute, both for Bozeman and Butte and the surrounding area, but the real snow show begins on Friday. We'll talk more about that and that cold air heading our direction in just a few minutes.
What kind of show?
The snow show.
Snow show.
I didn't stutter.
It's
different than the bro show.
You were very clear.
Yeah.
6:31, our top story this half hour. Finding employees a priority for many businesses right now, and it's happening at a time when Montana is experiencing record low unemployment. MTN's Charlie Kleps takes a closer look.
Everything is cyclical in business, and so this is a cycle, and it will pass.
Cedric Snelling has seen the highs and lows of the job market.
I graduated in 2009 in one of the cycles where there was very large unemployment, and it was very difficult to find a job.
The Rocky Mountain College accounting professor says when he graduated, it was a struggle to find a job, unlike the current situation for his students today.
Graduates now are in a very fortuitous position. They're in a position to probably do a job that they not only want to do, but receive reasonably good compensation for that.
A report released by Governor Gianforte's office Tuesday showed that Montana's unemployment rate fell to 2.8% in December. Total employment rose to a record high of 553,000 jobs, while the labor force increased to nearly 570,000 workers. And yet everywhere you look, there are help wanted signs. Businesses in just about every industry can't find workers, and not just in the service industry.
It's not only a service issue, it's all over. I don't know that there's any industry that says, hey, we're plumb full, we don't want, we're not seeking out anybody else.
Snelling says it actually makes sense to have record unemployment and so many businesses looking for workers when you take some time to think about it.
It wouldn't make sense if there was a big pool of people looking for jobs, yet on the other side there was a bunch of employers looking to hire. Either there's a big pool of people who are not looking for jobs, or there's just no one there.
He also says in a time of uncertainty, one thing is certain: wait a while and the job market will change.
It will pass and it will change, and there will become a time where unemployment starts to rise, and then it gets too high, and there will be people who will be looking for a job that can't find one.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Other news this morning: Bozeman City Commission putting a stop to discussions about paid parking in the city's downtown. Following a work session about moving paid parking forward, Deputy Mayor Terry Cunningham and Commissioners Eho Pomeroy and Jennifer Magic raised concerns about the impact on downtown businesses. 3 commissioners voted to stop the measure, saying they are concerned with the current business climate in downtown Bozeman. Well, Montana Governor Greg Gianforte gave his second State of the State address last night. Senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian brings us some of what the governor said is going well in the state and the priorities he wants to see from the 68th legislature.
On Wednesday, Governor Greg Gianforte said Montana's made a lot of progress in his 2 years as governor, but there's still more work to do.
The governor of the state of Montana and the Honorable Greg Gianforte.
Gianforte delivered his second State of the State address before a joint session of the Montana House and Senate. His last address in 2021 focused on the comeback plan after COVID.
The state of our state is strong, and it is much stronger than it was 2 years ago.
He touted strong economic growth and the addition of 31,000 jobs in 2 years, saying they've strived to improve opportunity in Montana.
For too long, Montana hasn't been living up to our full outstanding potential. Our biggest exports have been beef, grain, and tragically, our kids and grandkids.
Gianforte also made appeals to lawmakers for this session. He again highlighted one of his top priorities, a red tape relief initiative with more than 100 bills aimed at simplifying state regulations.
To our legislative partners, thank you for helping more Montanans prosper by removing unnecessary, burdensome regulations. Thank you.
He talked about his plan for $1 billion in tax relief, including major income and property tax bills making their way through the legislature. And he called for investing hundreds of millions of dollars in infrastructure to support additional housing.
Hardworking Montanans should be able to live in the communities where they work. And grandparents should be able to live closer to their kids and grandkids.
Gianforte also encouraged lawmakers to pass a slate of bills encouraging innovation in education and renewed his call for extensive investments in the Montana State Prison and Montana State Hospital. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Now, following the governor's State of the State address, Minority Whip Shannon O'Brien spoke in the Senate chamber, calling the governor and Republicans out of touch with the needs of Montanans regarding housing, education, and tax relief.
The governor failed to provide any real solutions to the housing crisis. He sent back $100 million of our federal monies that could have significantly eased the pain of the housing crisis. Instead, he offers a red tape initiative which, quite frankly, does nothing for Montana families.
Now, if you missed the governor's State of the State address, you can watch it in its entirety on demand with the KBZK streaming app for Roku and other devices. All you have to do is look under the 68th session. 6:37 now. Should the federal government take steps to increase their inspections of dog breeding facilities? Some major animal rights advocates think so and are pushing Congress to change current laws to make federal fines bigger and inspections more frequent. Our Joe St. George now with a look at the push to protect more dogs, and we warn you some of these images may be hard to watch.
Having a dog is, well, a lot. Yes, a lot of cleanups.
Very humbling.
And training.
Sit.
But a lot of fun.
Good boy.
Well, if you haven't caught on by now, this is my dog, Tucker, a golden retriever. And while my wife and I think we've given him a pretty good life, the reality is that not every dog is as lucky. And the question is, should our government be doing more to protect dogs?
For decades, we've had this problem.
Ingrid Segerman certainly thinks so. She's a lobbyist with the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or the ASPCA. Specifically, she wants Congress to compel the Department of Agriculture, which inspects dog breeding facilities, to inspect and fine breeders more for violations.
They basically have this program of inaction. They're hardly ever issuing fines.
We didn't just take her word for it. We looked at the public records, which you can too at USDA.gov. Last year, there were only 11 administrative actions by the agency involving breeders, and while some fines were issued,
This one's for over 12 grand.
some were just warnings.
This is just an official warning.
The ASPCA says it would be nice to believe that more dogs are getting treated like Tucker in our country, and that's why violations are low. Sadly, she doesn't believe that. More fines are needed, she says, to keep more dogs happy. Minimal fines just don't work.
It doesn't have a deterring effect. It doesn't actually deter that facility from violating the law again.
And that's where the Goldies Act comes in. We want to warn you, these next images are tough to watch. The act is named after this unnamed, malnourished golden retriever in Iowa. It took 18 visits and 6 months for the owner of this facility to have his license suspended by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This precious pup eventually had to be put down. Goldie's Act would order the agency to inspect more and impose stronger penalties. A bipartisan coalition in Congress is expected to try and include it in this year's Farm Bill, legislation that happens every 5 years and often makes policy changes at the USDA.
It would basically make the USDA do its job.
As for the Department of Agriculture, we did reach out to them for an interview. They would only give us a statement that said in part that they take the welfare of animals very seriously and noted that they are already inspecting and fining animal owners after investigations. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.